Hi, Jen Dunn. I love you
Hi.
so much.
I love it with all my shirt.
It's just everything.
Your shirt, did you
Well,
say?
your
My
shirt.
shirt with all my
My
shirt.
battery's
This is
gonna
how
die.
good I'm doing,
Yeah,
guys.
well,
This is
This
how great.
episode's gonna be great. Hello and welcome to Table for Five with No Reservations. Take a seat at the table for a fresh, sweet, salty tart, and pleasantly bitter conversation.
Thank you for taking a seat at our holiday table. Seated at the table with me tonight is Rachel Flanagan,
Hey, everybody.
Tabitha Cabrera,
Hello.
Jamie Ramos,
Hello.
Kim McIsaac,
Hi.
and I'm Jen. We're happy to have you here tonight. Ladies, happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Who's happy on a Monday?
No reservations.
No reservations. Yes, thank you, Tabitha. This is our No Reservations episode leading into the holidays. Thanksgiving, Tabitha, is on Thursday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'm here for
Appreciate
you. Yeah, we are leading into the holidays and just thought we'd chat.
Yeah, throw it down.
This has been a good series. It's fun to talk about the holidays this way instead of all just the after. It's been kind of therapeutic to walk through the holiday path.
You know, and what I will say is kind of going down this holiday path. It's, you know, we have kids from 6, 3 to 3. Or 3. Yeah,
Almost
3.
in December.
3 to 24, 25. So we have this gap of experiences from young to older. And I will say my daughter's 11 and holidays used to be terrible. They were terrible. I dreaded them with everything in me. I was a girl that put a tree up on October 31st.
This
Not
year.
come at me. Yeah. And you know, my daughter understands Christmas now in the sense of she gets presents. She doesn't really understand, you know, the whole, I mean, she gets Santa, he comes, that kind of stuff, but it does get easier for anyone listening. It gets a little bit easier. The holidays used to be really hard and they are easier now.
I think Seeley's 6 and we were, it was pretty evident that things were different around 2, a little busy ladies. And then she was diagnosed at 4 and now we're several seasons through. And I feel like I get better at changing my expectations. All the things we've gone over this series, it's like, I just give fewer jingles for the fact that people have expectations. I'm just going to stay home. I'm just going to, in fact, that's kind of my no reservations. It's this week. It's like, we just got the COVID, what's that called?
Exposure.
This is November of 2021. And it's my family's first like official from the school call exposure. And I'm like, oh my God, what are we supposed to do?
Direct exposure, direct exposure. Yeah.
Seeley just started this ABA clinic. So that means it's a smaller group, but all of the adults are rotating around. So that makes the group the whole size of the space. And then it's like no masks, which I understand completely and I'm grateful for. That just makes me feel like all this free spitting is going on, all this coughing, all this Seeley liquids, fluids everywhere. God, gross. Anyway, so we are staying home because we're within that. And I'm just like, yes, thank God. Like, yes, because we were going to struggle through, even though I know better. And it's just not, we're just going to stay home. Our whole house is going to smell like stuffing. She's going to be in her PJs.
The best way to be.
But it went from like 2 days of Festivus to like the last 5 of this 7-day break. I'm like, oh my God.
It's kind of nice in ways though to just be stuck at home. But I was going to say the same thing, Rach. It's like my expectations have changed a lot and we just manage it a lot better. And I still get sad about things as we talked about in the heartbreak episode, but overall, I just know kind of what to expect. And I know how to recognize how my son is enjoying things, even though it's different than how I thought it would go or how other people think it should be.
Right.
And, I'm no longer going to be dragging my son out of a room where he's hiding to try to get him to open a gift, or I'm not, things that make him happier and make us all happier that way. That we just do the holidays the way we do it and not meeting any other expectations.
We had some invites over for 2 people's Thanksgiving, which is so nice. I mean, thank you for the invites. Keep them coming because we might show up at some point. But instead, what I did is order a Thanksgiving dinner from the Whole Foods. I'm gonna pick that up. I'm gonna pick that up.
That's winning.
the,
Yes.
That's how you-
the night before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you are.
We're gonna heat that business up.
Yeah, you are.
we're gonna-
We got a
Yeah.
charcuterie plate coming with all the fancy meats
Woo!
and
Yes.
cheeses, which my children love.
Which,
Yeah.
how perfect is that though, Tabs?
Oh,
All
great.
the cured meat on
I
that
will-
coffee table in front of the couch.
Yeah, my plan
Yes.
is to at least still bake some pies. I do enjoy cooking, but we have a problem with an open kitchen. And so like the oven's always like a danger zone. Not so much for Nixon anymore, but definitely Nora. So
Yeah.
things coming out all day long, the oven being hot all
Hot
day
all
long,
day,
hot
yeah.
pans up on the thing, all that is like
No, not
monitoring
this year.
monitoring
Yeah.
all day. So instead, I will pick up the fancy pre-made meal.
Mhm.
Thank you, Whole Foods, for this offering.
That's
Yes.
of your
awesome though.
glorious entire Thanksgiving dinner that I can just
This-
drive
It's like
up.
all of it, sides, gravies.
Green
all
bean
of it.
casserole, gravy, cranberry
Biscuits.
sauce, turkey, freaking everything for $89.99.
This episode is not sponsored by the
No.
Whole Foods.
By the Whole
but they will
Foods.
come on as a sponsor. If
This
you would
is
like.
not any
Thank you,
kind of
Whole Foods.
advertisement for the Whole Foods, except for thank you from the bottom of my heart for having this
Yes.
offer,
For $89.99.
purchasing the entire Thanksgiving, because I didn't even know that Thanksgiving was this week
No,
until
no, you didn't.
a couple
I'm glad
days
you
ago.
didn't miss that cutoff. You just found out the holiday was coming.
Yeah.
Hey,
That
dumb
is
shit.
true. You
It's
got to get those
November.
orders in because those get booked up fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's funny.
I'm grateful.
So
That's what we're doing. It's gonna
She's
be
grateful
fantastic.
for Whole Foods this Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Rach? Well, I guess you're in quarantine. You're not doing a whole lot. Sorry, we
Yeah.
have to do a pie.
The thing is, so first of all, I don't need a pie because one of our listeners.
I was just
Amy-
gonna say, yeah.
Oh my God. You guys, she sent me the pie cake and
Oh my
okay, I got to talk about it.
Yeah, talk
were
about the pie
on-
cake and this freaking. You got to post this on our page, the photo of the pie
I
cake.
didn't mean to cough. I will send the photo of the pie cake but let me just tell you the backstory because all of our listeners know Adrian or will in a couple of weeks when we air her.
This will be after this one.
Interview,
So they're
but I
gonna
was
know
on-
Adrian. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was on Adrian's page. She was getting her hair done last week and they were talking about on her page, somebody made tofu turkey, tofurkey. You all
Tofurkey.
know I love a chef hit or the double word,
Combo those words.
So
Tofurkey.
naturally, tofurkey. So naturally, I was like, oh, have you heard of the turducken? And then I had to remember because it's been some time when that turducken came onto the scene. But this is a chicken breast stuffed into a duck, stuffed into a turkey, and cooked
Yes.
together. Okay.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
vegetarian, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's keep
Stuff-
moving forward. Yeah.
I gotta say, stuffing is about the only thing that I like that is the word stuffing
Ah.
and comes out of
Yeah.
a stuffed
Stuff
Anyhow.
so good.
the
Don't worry,
turducken.
Tab, this in your Whole Foods meal.
And then somebody says, this is the turducken of cakes. It's a pecan pie inside a spice cake
What?
with a carrot cake. Nope, I'm messing this up. I got to go to the legit thing. Sorry, guys. We're going to have to take
Isn't there pecan in there? I'm not a big pecan person.
So hang on one sec.
My husband loves pecan
It's
pie.
not
It's his
cherry
favorite.
pie. Jamie's not interested.
Oh my
Pecan
God,
or
there's
I like
apple.
pecan.
It's
I say pecan, I think.
Pecan. That's what I said too. Pecan pie.
Okay, ready? The
Pecan.
original Thanksgiving
couldn't say
cake pie
tortilla.
caken. Pie caken. Tortilla. Jesus. Martha. How do you say tortilla? It's our
Tortilla.
friend.
Tortilla. Anyway, we'll talk about that in another episode.
All right.
It's
So
my
guys,
gnome.
okay, pumpkin pie, pecan pie, spice cake, like a cream cheese frosting. On top, apple pie. filling.
What?
See it? See it?
In the middle, in the
On
center.
the top. Yeah.
Oh my
scooped
god!
right there. So now
Scooped right
that we've
there.
had the
I
quarantine,
might have to order this in bag making the pie.
I am sending you the link.
It's
Again,
over.
we don't have an affiliate link. it's
Safety,
just-
Tabitha. You need to think about safety.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing. This is $100, but it's also feeds 12 to 16 or
$100.
3 people for 4 days. Do you hear me? 3 people. 4
This is
days.
Thanksgiving dinner at the Flanagan house.
I don't know.
Stuffing.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know
I
if
love
any
to-
pie is worth $100. I just
This
bought a whole
is 3.
Thanksgiving dinner for
Oh my gosh.
$89.90.
I would pay
$89.99
$100 for a
food.
pie, hands down. I
Same.
love
If
pie
you're
more
willing
than I
to
love most
charge, yes,
you're
and if you're
willing
willing
to
to
charge,
charge
it's
$100
$100.
for a GD pie, that's the one you want.
I don't know if people have heard about this one, but Reese's came out with a giant Reese's peanut butter cup pie.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Seriously?
Sign
It's
me up for
also
that.
very overpriced.
Do they deliver to Canada? I need to know.
I don't know. Look it
Is
up.
it internationally delivered?
I'm sure. If you're willing to pay, anything's
Oh my goodness. A Reese's peanut butter.
Wait,
cake.
so I love to cook.
$44.95.
I
But
love
I
to
So
love
in
to
bake.
Canadian, 84.96.
Love to bake.
Yeah.
I love to bake. I
We
love
could
to
be
bake.
names. Why don't you move in next to me on the commune? I'll
Yeah.
do your cooking, you do the bacon.
Did you just
Yeah.
ditch me out of a side of the house or am I on the other side?
Don't I have 2 sides?
You're
Because I
gonna
need
be.
some bread.
You're
Jamie,
gonna
you
make.
want north? Kimmy, you can have south.
Go to it.
I have
I-
Send
all
my
these
robot
options.
vacuum over to your home. That will be my contribution.
Robot vacuum.
So I'm just saying I love the cooking.
You're gonna be doing the turkey breast.
Turkey breast of wonder.
Of
Okay,
wonder.
that's the best ever.
I do love cooking a turkey. I
I'm gonna
will
get
say that.
Church's chicken. It's the best
Yeah,
French
we
potatoes
got
ingredient.
church on Sunday.
Oh my God, she has to go to church.
Jen's daughter asked her
Caregiver.
caregiver to take her to church. We're pretty sure she meant churches.
Church's
Chicken.
Um,
Also not sponsoring. The
Household.
ladies of the Dunn household love the church's chicken.
And the biscuits.
Those
dipped in
biscuits.
honey.
for the vegetarian, just some biscuits.
Oh my God.
I live in Minnesota. There's no church's chicken here, but I want to try that biscuit.
Honey dipped biscuit at Church's Chicken.
That sounds so
We
good.
should go through our
Yeah.
favorite pies. Let's talk about the holiday food.
Just
this-
one pie or all of them?
Any pie you love.
Yeah, round the table on the pies and then the sides. Let's do that.
Pies
Mhm,
and the
yep.
sides. Oh my God. Love it.
What's your favorite pie, Tabs?
My favorite pie is pumpkin pie. Well, in real life, my favorite pie is cheesecake.
Ah!
In our house, we call it cheese pie.
Mhm.
In holiday season,
That's
pumpkin pie, hands down, with the freaking
The
Cool Whip on the top. Yeah. And-
I too am the pumpkin. I grew up in a family though that says sliver of each
Mm.
because why wouldn't you have like a little slive of the French silk and then a slive of the apple? Jen, you're muted.
I am. And I was talking again. I said, sliver. I would take my cousins out at the table line up for the food. Get out of my way. Snooze, you lose.
My
Right.
favorite pies are all
Yeah.
pie.
All pies, Jamie.
I
loves
love
pie.
pie. Well, cherry pie, any berry pie, really. Like the mixed berry pie, so good. Put some ice cream on
You
that.
guys, when she says it, she has her eyes closed and she throws her head back.
That's how much
I
she
love
loves pie.
pumpkin pie. Not too big on pecan pie. I'm a little allergic to pecans. They kind of make me break out, but
Yeah.
I will still
Just a
Still a
slight
pie.
allergy. So
like
no big deal.
pie. Delicious.
And who needs to chew through nuts to get to your pie? I mean, that just is a waste.
Sugar.
It's like a blizzard that you have to chew all the stuff to get to the ice cream. You don't need
Mm.
that. It's a
I
waste of
about
just
time.
almost said sugar nuts. Okay.
Sugar nuts.
Sure.
I'll cut that out. But I love French silk pie, banana with
I like
milk,
chocolate pudding pie.
Oh,
chocolate
yum.
banana pudding pie.
Banana pudding.
I love taco pies. Is that
This is really reminding me of
Delicious. Sugar.
this the Forrest Gump shrimp.
Yes.
Shrimp.
Shrimp.
Shrimp. Bubba gum
Kimmy,
shrimp.
what's your favorite pie?
Chocolate pudding pie.
Chocolate pudding
Ooh.
pie.
I
Mm.
also like apple pie. I'm not a
Mm.
big pie person. I like apple pie.
I've been
I used to
asking
eat
make it.
meringue pie like when we were little. My
Oh.
grandmother used to make it,
Oh.
but I haven't had that in years.
Because nobody does the work anymore to
That's
make a
it.
lemon meringue pie like
Yeah.
our grandmas
I
did.
love a
No
key
pie,
lime.
no berry pie,
That's okay. I'll eat it.
no pumpkin pie.
Yes, pumpkin's the best.
I like that
I'll
crumble.
have
I
a
die for
brownie.
that crumble. That apple crumble. What's that? Oatmeal and
I do
butter
like
and
apple.
brown sugars or something.
You could do cherry crumble too.
Oof.
So my side
Give me a
side
cherry.
side picks are cranberries out of the can, has to be gelled.
Hello.
That's the best stuff. Croissant rolls
Mhm.
with the cranberry sauce with the mashed
Turkey.
potatoes in one bite.
Yes.
Mm.
I was all about the sides. I know that's shocking, but I love the mashed potatoes and
Mhm.
the broccoli rice casserole and the bean
Mm.
casserole. This is traditional Thanksgiving.
I do not know what broccoli rice casserole is,
So-
but I do like a green bean casserole.
Yeah, well, I gotta think that might have come later in life,
Never
but I'm
had
gonna send
either.
you the recipe because it's delicious. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
I'm a
That would be
stuffing girl.
delicious.
Stuffing,
Stuffing,
mashed
too.
potatoes, and gravy.
What's in your
Yes.
stuffing,
It's
Jake?
okay.
Don't say apples, please. Don't say apples.
Or
My
chestnuts,
mom does
go.
it with apples.
Oh, sorry,
love
that.
Mrs. Marshall.
My
I
mother-in-law
apologize.
makes the other, also makes one, but hers is, I think hers has like celery. I'm trying to
Mhm.
remember. I'm kind of mixing
Celery.
those in my head.
Celery.
Want to hear mine?
I prefer a stovetop. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
It's actually
I
the,
don't
it's
necessarily
actually the
prefer
one
it,
thing,
but-
guys, I make.
The
The one
what?
thing I make on Thanksgiving is stuffing.
What's in your
Every
stuffing?
day.
Yeah.
What's in your
Not a lot. We use we
Not a
saute
lot.
an onion. No, we saute an onion with butter, like a big onion with
Butter.
butter.
But,
And we do the bread. We use the bread. We use the Bell stuffing mix, and you just pour the butter, and then you do salt and pepper, and it's to die for.
That sounds
You like it
delicious.
more dry or the worst word ever, moist?
Yeah.
Waste.
I like when it's crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside.
soften. So my mom
That's
stuff.
But
My mom makes me because I'm vegetarian when I'm not eating steak bites.
Or
Um,
chicken strips.
But that's only occasional. McDonald's chicken nuggets don't actually count as chicken strips because they're not real
Yeah,
chicken.
it's true. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't really count. 17 years here. But she would make me, her
If you
homemade
have
stuffing,
sausage.
not stuffed up the turkey, so it's not.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
Parts of the
I don't
bird.
like the cavern either.
But I would like make a side one of like stovetop. My brother's like, oh, this is the best. She's like, seriously? I've been cooking for hours. And my mother is the best cook in the world. But there's nothing like a box of stovetop
I love
stuffing.
stovetop.
There's just nothing like
Love
a
it.
box of stovetop.
I love that. I like
What's in your
moist.
grate? Oh,
I like moist stuffing.
you like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sticky moist.
Mine is, I do love a good stovetop, but I like do that with a teriyaki grilled chicken later
I
in
was
the
just
summer.
gonna say you layer it too. Like you'll
But
do
I
like
do
a-
some stuffing. So I'll start
Yeah.
with sage sausage,
Mm.
brown that so that it's really small. And then, that pounding. I add more butter, then onion, then celery. And in a separate pan, I do the mushrooms because they get weird. A mushroom and an onion should not cook together. So,
Mushrooms and stuffing. Mm. don't
oh,
know
I
about
put
that.
button mushrooms, sauteed mushrooms, because it's the same as the sausage. Oh, it's delish. You guys can come over. I mean, I'm just telling you, you'll be asking for seconds and thirds.
come eat.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to like it.
I mean, I
I like
probably-
mushrooms. I've just never had it in my stuffing, but I often use mushrooms in substitute of a meat.
Yeah.
So that actually would, be bad with some.
And I
gravy.
just do them like
Yep.
super, super small. I mean,
Well,
I'm
yeah, that
talking
probably
tiny
makes it
babies.
okay. Yeah.
Because
that
then it
probably
adds to that moisture and that chew and that delish. Because I go moist stuffing, not at all a dressing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a dressing is sort of a schmear version of a stuffing. Am I wrong?
dressing.
People
On the
say
stuffing?
dressing.
They say dressing. Yeah.
just
What
think
do you
it's
mean?
another word for it. I don't think it
For
means
stuffing?
anything different.
I think it's an
Yeah.
older.
I think down-
like,
I
people
think
said
down
dressing.
south
Like my
call it-
grandma said dressing.
I believe
No.
I believe down south they call it dressing, but it's
Yeah.
the same. It's not any different than
Just like a
It's still
couch is a Davenport, a stuffing is a
a dressing.
dressing.
I think it just means like a side. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Never heard that in my life. First
Mine-
time
I
learning
heard. I don't
something
know
new
where I heard it.
today.
Not that long
Yeah.
ago. Also, we do our stuffing around the turkey and in a separate pan.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's the way to do it.
around. Yeah. I grew up in the cavern,
Oh,
but
yeah.
and
that.
then a pan, and I'm in the pan. 'cause I like
I'm the
that crunchy
pan
top.
person too.
For stuffing.
Mhm.
Don't know how it's
I don't
cooked.
think Alexandra put it in the pan. No, I think it went up the
Just
turkey's
Rear end.
behind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how
I
like
think
we
where
used
it
to
went.
like that's how our parents did it, but we did it around because they started saying you'll die if you do that.
Salmonella and stuff. It's the new
So
age.
but everybody
Well,
loves stuff
not
and
it,
too, so
no.
just do a separate pan. And
I've
Mel
never
makes the
cooked
best gravy. So good.
Thanksgiving anything.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God,
like-
I love it. It's my
I'm not
favorite
even
meal.
kidding.
I
mean,
too.
I eat it, but I'm just always surrounded by people who like to cook. My husband's cooking this year and my mother. I will help with like vegetables. I did rolls last year. Like there's things
I
can
did
do.
rolls.
What do you guys, I mean, Thanksgiving's gonna be past when this airs, but do you guys have like a tradition on Thanksgiving or is it just?
I did when I was younger. We did the Macy's parade. Was such a big deal when I was a kid. My cousins came in from Connecticut. I lived in Port Huron, which is on the border of Ontario. We were about an hour and 45 out of a couple hours out of Detroit, but a little tiny lake
Yeah.
city. And the Macy's parade was such a big deal for us. My cousins, like we'd all, get
Run over.
but grandma would make appetizers and bring them out, and everybody would just, before there was a charcuterie board, it was just a board of meat and cheese.
I still put it on and I try to force my
too.
kids to watch it. They want nothing. I'm like, look, they'll come look at like a float and then they're back out of there. I'm like,
Just
come on.
Snoopy is ceiling.
Mhm,
Yep.
mhm.
She's like, bring me
Yeah.
for Brown's friend. We do the parade too because we roll lefse. So
Yes, for your mom. Yeah.
on the morning of Christmas Eve and Thanksgiving, we do like the whole family comes over and we roll Norwegian lefse. And the parade's on the background and the coffee's strong as hell. And we just try and like make sure they don't touch the 500-degree griddle till they're ready.
Yeah.
We don't have Thanksgiving traditions, just eating all day.
There's nothing wrong with that,
I'm
Devin.
about to
That's
buy
actually the most
bacon.
beautiful tradition in the world.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Literally
My aunt-
eating from the time
I,
you get up to the time.
My aunts would come home from college, so there was that age gap between
Yeah.
my dad and his sister. So they'd come home, and the other sisters would come home with their kids, and that was a big deal. But now, I mean, there's no traditions. There's no
My
tradition.
favorite Thanksgiving tradition is the day after Thanksgiving when you have a piece of pumpkin pie with Cool Whip on it with your morning coffee.
Hello.
I mean, it
And
is the
extra
greatest.
in your coffee, that extra Cool Whip. in
Yeah,
your
and
coffee.
hopefully your kids are still sleeping and you get to just like eat that pie by yourself.
Was that a Christmas dream, a miracle all rolled up into one?
Mhm.
I love
Because lefse is like a thinner tortilla, we always piece the lefse, put the schmear of the jellied cranberry on there,
Mm,
and then layer up the turkey with the stuffing top.
yeah.
Roll her up like a tortilla or burrito. Oh
I
my
used to
God.
love
yeah.
when my mom would, save the bones and the leftover meat. And
Oh,
she'd
yeah.
make soup. That was
Yeah.
always really good. Yeah.
That is super
17
good.
years ago, because we've moved past the
The
bone thing. It's really good.
what should we round about?
Well,
Kimmy?
I did some Christmas shopping today. I am kind of, other than I did gift cards for providers this year. I may do some Pampered Parent boxes, which I think will be
Yeah.
a great easy thing to do. But other than that, kind of for providers, I'm kind of done. My nephew, he just wants cash. He's 14. He doesn't want a gift.
Yeah.
He doesn't want a card. He wants
Yeah.
money. He just wants money. So he's getting money.
Cold
Easy.
hard cash.
Yeah, easy.
He wants the same thing
Um,
as you. That's what
Yeah,
he
same
wants.
thing as me. Just transfer that into my account.
Let's
It's fine.
trade.
Yeah. Other than that, like everything's just kind of online and easy now. I find there's not that big shopping rush. Don't you find that now?
Yeah.
'Cause everything's
But you
online.
don't
It comes
miss
to your
it?
door. I kind of do. I mean, I was literally the Christmas Eve shopper. I wasn't, because I just love Christmas so much.
Mm.
So festive. The most festive I get is buying a big old bottle of Bailey's and enjoying that sucker all month.
I
That's
got
about
Kimmy
it.
said the other day, is it the time of year where winter puts popcorn in a tin? And I was like, yep, yep. Winter
Yes.
puts popcorn in a tin. Hey,
I
speaking
love
of
that.
popcorn, I want you to know that I went on Jen's link of the popcorn for the people.
Yes.
And that's what I got all of our providers.
I
and
am gonna do that
so
too, I think.
excited about it. They
Yeah.
I recommend so far. I did a little snack attack on the French toast variety. Delish.
That sounds so good.
Mhm.
This whole episode, I hope no one's hungry listening to this.
It's all about food.
I just ate a full meal and I am about to go.
The Thanksgiving is coming. What do you guys
Ah.
do for the turkey? Because this is always interesting to me. How do people cook the turkey? I know, Jamie, you can tell us.
They put it in the oven in a bag. Is there
Oh,
more
yes.
that you need
A
to
bag,
know?
yeah.
In a
That's
bag?
the way to do it. Put in a
Yeah.
bag.
Keep all the
Smother-
noise out.
Keeps
that
it
turkey?
M word.
Yep. Smother that turkey in mayonnaise. Put it in the oven bag with, well, first put the spices in the mayonnaise.
Yes.
All the yummy spices. Put that in an oven bag.
Martha Stewart suggests the herb compote butter. that's what I'll be doing this year is my herb butter under the skin, which is
Oh, yes. Put the
a
butter
nasty
No,
under
I
the
don't
job,
skin.
but
cook
worth
the
it.
turkey, but I think what he does is, I think he rubs oil all over it, like all over the whole turkey, and then does the seasonings and then
She
does
needs
the
a good lubing. That's what keeps that salt and pepper on there.
Yeah, it keeps the
And,
moisture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he makes his kick-ass gravy, and it doesn't even matter because the gravy's so good.
Oh, I can't wait.
Well, my husband is Hispanic Mexican, so we also have green chili and like rice and beans on Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
Yum.
That was the synchronized
Guys,
yum.
yeah, it was. Jinx.
Synchronized yum.
Uh, well, this is very, very informational for our listeners.
Why don't we do, I mean, I know Thanksgiving has passed for our listeners, but it's coming up for us. So we could say what we're thankful for this year.
Hmm.
Get a little cheese ball on you.
I'm not
I'm
thankful for
thankful-
COVID. I can tell you that right now.
Oh,
Not thankful for COVID.
Really freaking annoying me right now.
I'm thankful for the things that changed during COVID that made our life a little easier, gave some perspective to some people, like about isolation and stuff. I don't mean to be negative about my positive, but I feel like it's been eye-opening for people to understand this. Like we're all going through this thing together, you know. I'm also thankful that we've, as our family, gonna have the feels. I'm thankful that we've built our team a little. We've beefed up our team. I think about in this calendar year, Celie was in the hospital, and we've not come very far at all if you look at certain lanes. But we really have built a good team around her and around us. And we've got respite people. She finally is an ABA. Like we've got caseworkers and just people in every lane that really feel like they've got our back right now. So though it's not getting a lot easier, I know that we've got a lot of things in place to make next year better. So I'm grateful.
Yeah, looking ahead.
Yeah.
Some good things in place, right?
Oh, and because we've been talking about how Billy outed some real life divorce topics on Piece of Autism one day on the internet.
About
I
a
would
year
just
ago,
say, yeah, it was.
approximately.
This is what I would say that Billy and I'm really thankful that I have such a partner in him right now. Like it's been hard. We've had, even just this last couple of weeks, some serious aggression, and just the way that he's helped me is like answered prayer. It's great.
Beautiful.
I'm thankful for you too.
Yeah, hey, we started this podcast this year.
Yes, I'm thankful for all of you. I will say I'm very thankful my mother handled a very intense autism situation this weekend, like a pro, with the utmost grace and calm. And yeah, I'm very thankful that my mom's come a long way. I will say that she's come a long way. So yeah, that was pretty cool to see.
I would say this year has taught me about making sure that other people know how important they are to you. You know, I'm thankful for the relationships that I have with people who care about me. And I think the year before it felt like a isolation zone. And it was really hard to like find that connection with other people. And, you know, we had a hard year for our family, and I think that puts into perspective that relationships are important and you should try and foster those, you know, when you can. So I'm really thankful for the people that have been there. I for sure would not be remotely close to where I am in my life without people who invested in me over my lifetime. I'm really grateful for that. And then the growth that my kids have had this year has been pretty incredible, learning about them more and more every day, and therapy. Highly grateful for a non-partial person who can give me some insight into my feelings and emotions.
Yes.
So, yes.
Kimmy?
I mean, I'm grateful, like Rachel said, for you ladies. Seems really weird that we were just getting to know each other a year ago. Like,
Yeah.
I just saw my ornament that Tabitha sent me last year because she had me from the Secret Santa we had. You know, and you wrote all the things that what happened in 2020, and it's really bizarre to think that was a year ago.
Yeah.
Like it seems the shutdown seems light years away at this point. Yeah, I'm thankful for my family, for my children, my husband. Those are the things that are most important to me. I'm thankful for all the progress
Still
Alyssa's
don't have one
making.
of those, so feel free.
Huh?
Sorry, give me.
She's
Still
still
don't
taking husband
have-
I'm not
applications.
always grateful for him,
Thank
you know.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for where Alyssa is. You know, she's come a long way in the past couple years, and she's happy. Like, that's just the most important thing to me. You know, it's not perfect. There's little bumps all the time. She's just so much more aware. She's so much more, you know, just engaged with us, and I'm very grateful for, you know,
Yeah, happy's key for sure.
the bumps in the road for sure, and hard times still, but lots of days that I don't have hard times now. It seemed unattainable at one point. So, you know, I'm obviously grateful, you know, and she's
Yeah, when
just
I
like,
talked about our spectrum of ages, Kimmy has the oldest child on the spectrum at our table. So we often look to her for
Yeah.
what's ahead. So like she just said, it does get better. It can get better.
and when you least expect it sometimes is when things kind of, you know, it's like a weird thing where you don't realize it's happening sometimes.
Mhm.
Do you ever feel that like with Jen Kai, that it's like, you know,
Mhm.
even since we've been talking, she's a
Yeah.
whole different kid, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's like, how did this
True.
happen? Yeah, for sure.
But it's like you don't really see it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're there. What about you, James?
Oh goodness. Everyone got me all in the heart. This year, I don't know. I think with 2020 and all COVID and stuff forced me in a way to cut a lot of crap out of my life, which was really good. I think I'm really grateful for you ladies. I think you guys are a big part of that. I was just thinking the other day how within my other friendships or other people I talk to who don't quite understand this life, I always felt like the annoying one because I was like searching for someone to talk to about things.
Mm-hmm.
And just, you know, and my friends are like very kind and, you know, would always be nice and sympathetic about things, but you could tell that they didn't know what I was talking about. And in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm probably sounding like I'm exaggerating or I'm sounding very needy. So to have found a group of women who just get it, and like I don't feel as lonely or different as I did at one point. Like, and I almost forget. I mean, this wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
We've known each other for a little more than a year.
Yeah.
And like, I was so lonely before then. And I almost forget like just how much we talk about things and how much it's changed me as a person. I think it's really empowered me in this world because I didn't have a lot of people to relate to before. It's just given me a different perspective, and that a lot of the times that I'm not crazy. Like, I felt
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, why am I the only one experience this in my life? And it's almost to the point where I almost forget that not everyone knows about autism, not everyone knows about the special needs world, because now I'm so encompassed in it. And I love that because now I know that I can teach people about inclusion and about all these things that weren't there before. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm thankful for my husband this year. He's made a lot of sacrifices for me to do this podcast, to do all the volunteering.
Thank you, Isaac.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Isaac.
Thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you, Isaac.
I mean,
I just have to throw in a thank you while you're on that for my husband, Nick, as well, for that reason.
they don't
you
love the
there.
podcast. Just
for 'cause managing our children while we do
all
this.
stuff. And
Yeah.
not really having, I don't, you know, like having free time together has gone down a lot. I think during COVID, obviously we had a ton of free time with our spouses, and then I
Mhm.
met you ladies and that got cut down, but
Took over.
it's so great. I'm grateful for my kids, of course. They're amazing. And yeah.
I mean, it is mind blowing to think like when you describe it that way. And we tell each other all the time, like, we love you regularly.
Yeah.
And how impactful this relationship has been for all of us over the past year. And
But
it
if
seems
you're
like longer.
lonely, if you're lonely and you feel like, God, I wish I had that, you could just be one leap of faith away, because
Yeah.
we just joined a Zoom on a Monday night one time. And I mean, I was uncomfortable. I honestly think like you just never know what's around your corner. And
Mhm.
to not remember, God,
I know, I thought about that today, actually. I did it earlier before any of this. I was like, what did I do with my time?
but
Who
just
did I
like
talk to have that?
so many people message us, you know, and say, I
Mhm.
wish I had what you guys have. I'm just crying about it.
Mm.
We didn't, you know, a minute ago.
You're right. We didn't have
and
it
it
a
just
minute
takes
ago.
like a moment. It just takes a leap. It just takes like taps. You go to that Arizona Moms Tribe thing, I met Amy and her daughter Hannah at a meetup here. You just never know who you might hug if you take the chance.
Mhm.
And like, or maybe not hug, Jen, high five, rub elbows, whatever.
Well, and it's
Maybe
funny
wave
because
across the room.
Yeah.
Send a text or
like-
two.
it definitely goes against my nature.
Yeah,
And
me
I think if it wasn't for COVID, which is weird because I guess like it did open up certain doors that wouldn't have probably been open because
Drive through Santa. For
I would
one.
never went on a Zoom on a special needs support group. I
Yeah.
don't have time. I randomly just did it and things just went from there. And I'm not one to open up to people. Like that's really not my way. So, it was very enlightening.
I remember when you and I had a come to Jesus meeting one time, and you're like, I want to let you know I've only had my sister and I've only counted on my sister. And if you guys F with me, I'm coming. Like, I've never
We're-
relied on
This
anybody.
relationship by threat.
Oh, my sister said that.
Yeah. No, I think you
But
did.
really, we're very welcoming and we want you all to feel comfortable at the table.
But isn't it mind blowing? I mean, we are 5 people in 5 different states and 2 countries who became friends on the internet.
I need you guys to
Thank
get
you,
through
Katie
my
Swenson.
life.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I really, this life is too much without people like us
Mhm. Mhm.
for
And I
each
think
other.
the difference is, and I often say this and I don't say it gracefully, and I feel like I kind of shaft my friends, and I don't mean to because they're lovely and they've tried to love me through this and they've been wonderful, but they simply don't understand this life. And it is very hard to explain to somebody. It's hard to to have that relationship with people. So finding you ladies, and when you say, oh, I haven't slept, you're like, you understand. So, and the holidays, and bringing it back to why we're here, the holidays are hard. They're hard for our kids, which is hard for us, and it's hard for our family. It's hard for everybody. So to find those people that understand, or to find those people that are willing to accommodate your child's needs and your family's needs is everything. So if you are listening and you are the people that do that, thank you from all of us. It
Yes.
makes
Yeah.
our lives so much
Thank you.
easier.
Yes.
Yes.
And every message and every, response to our podcast, every feedback that we get makes an impact for us because we need that connection to others just as much as everybody else, It's
Well, and I
really-
think like we started this podcast because we found each other and we don't want to sound like we're exclusive to anyone. Like we started this because we want any mom or any parent out there who feels lonely to come hang out with us. Like
Yeah.
our lives.
Yeah.
We try to do Zooms and stuff with people because we want to get to know you. We want you to know you're not alone. You're not crazy.
Right.
This life is hard, and it makes it 10 times harder when you're surrounded by people who have no clue what it's like. That
I just feel like you come in speaking like, it's like landing on the moon
Mhm.
to be in this world. And then you have to figure out like all of the different facets of how it's going to affect you. And then you look around and realize that all the people that you used to spend life and day with are still carrying on. And now you've got this new language, this new pace, these new providers.
Mhm.
Jen has said this before. You don't go to dance. You go to therapy on Saturday.
I'm not saying it's like a death to have a kid with autism, but this is like what happens when you lose somebody. You go through that same process where like everybody else is just going on and you're stuck in this place,
I've always said it's like your life stops and the world and everyone
it's,
around you
and
keeps
it's the
going.
same, the feeling's the same because it's like everything that you thought you were doing and you thought you were supposed to be doing and you were going to be doing, it changes, and it changes so fast. It's like you almost don't know what to make of that. And then you don't want to sound complainy and whiny because you think your kid's great and you love your child and you want people to see him in a positive light, but at the same time you need somewhere to get those feelings out that you have. And I have people that try to understand it and like do understand to a point, but there's just something about somebody that just when you're going through something that's really hard and it's really hard to talk about, and then for that other person to really understand.
And I think it's just like there's certain things about it, like aggression, or that you can tell someone about, but they don't know how it feels to be hit by the person you love more than anyone in the world, or when your child doesn't talk, and and you're going through watching everyone else's kids learn to talk and grow, and just all these different things that, like, for me, my child is speaking now, but I know for other women in this group that it hasn't happened the same. But I've also had that period of time where he wasn't, and so I at least have a taste of how that felt, and I can empathize, and I know that it just hurts. It's just all these different things and elements, like silly things or potty training, or the little joys of like your kid doing something that seems so minute to everyone else, and they don't care when you're telling them. It's so nice.
They don't understand how your child watching a movie, like, that's huge for us.
Yeah.
That didn't happen until she was 24 years old. I mean, that's
Yeah.
incredible. But like when I write, oh my God, she watched it, people are like, oh yay, like, not really that big, but like they just can't understand the enormous thing that is for her to do, so it is too, I think, people really being able to celebrate you and lift you up.
Yes.
And I always say, in fairness to everyone else that's walked in front of me or behind me that hasn't had a child with autism, I wouldn't have understood the extraordinary circumstances or the extraordinary measures it took to get to a Thanksgiving dinner or a Christmas dinner, whatever it might be. I would have never understood the depths of it unless I was actually living it. So I try to be very conscious of that and not
yeah, it's not people's fault. You don't know.
I didn't even know this.
I always say I couldn't have understood that. I could not have understood it. So,
and we realize, like, maybe you're with our podcast because you listened to the PSA that a friend shared. We feel like it's hard to explain. It's hard to comprehend. It looks like just a hovering mom. But what you don't understand maybe is living in the hypervigilance that you have to like protect safety when your child doesn't understand safety. The sleeplessness that happens and the exhaustion that comes, and like the depletion of self that occurs during that time. But it's like, listen, we had some major aggression this past week, and I'm telling my husband, who lives like the only person on this earth that has a closer view to me and my daughter than you guys. It sounds unbelievable to describe what happened in that. So when I called my dad,
it sounds like you're exaggerating. It sounds like you're exaggerating.
I wish I could, or I wish I was, but then you call my dad, who is extraordinary in terms of what we need out of a family member right now. And I mean, just, he's understanding, he's trying to learn as fast as we are. He's less exposed. He doesn't understand always, it's overwhelming, but listening to my dad listen to me, it's like he's holding his breath. He's gasping. He's like having to process that that's his granddaughter or his daughter or whatever the whole experience is. It's unbelievable sounding. And it's not just aggression. I mean, it's self-harm, self-interest behavior. It's running, it's eloping, it's all the stuff. I can say verbal stim and you guys all roll your head back. Like, you know what that is,
Well, the other thing is like the emotions are like that freaking fancy $100 pie. It's like apple pie in the middle, the spice cake, the freaking whatever apple pie.
Yeah.
Pumpkin pie. Yeah, it's the layered pie. I mean, the emotions, and then you have the outside who tells you that you shouldn't be feeling that way, or you have perspectives who tell you shouldn't be feeling sad, you shouldn't be feeling fearful, you shouldn't be you should be celebrating.
They
and
won't run, they haven't run.
We
like,
do all of those things. We do all of those things together. They coexist in one place. And it's okay to have your layered $100 pie of feelings, because that's the reality.
And it's a lot to see your child hurt themselves, to see your child hurt a family member, for your child to hurt you, like all these things. It's heartbreaking. Like and sometimes you just got to get through the moment. And then when the moment's gone, that's when it hits you, that's when, for me, that's when those emotions just flood, and then it's like, sometimes I forget she has autism. I know that sounds stupid, but it's like, I don't think about it. You know what I mean? I don't think about it. And then it's like, we're still here. We just didn't want
But
you to,
you know,
we didn't
I'm
want you to forget
always-
about us. We didn't want you to get too comfortable. And then all those emotions come back, even though it's not even necessarily what's happening that moment or that day. It's all of the emotions come back.
I
Like,
think I've told you, my friend has a Christmas party every single year, and she hasn't had it obviously in a couple of years because of COVID. And I get the car service, I get dropped off. Like I come with my car, and I'll have a couple drinks. I will not drink and drive, so I get that car service that picks me up, and I have
Good
them
girl.
arriving at like 8:30. Well, people aren't even arriving till 9 or 10. There may be the odd person straggling in when we leave. And then I feel bad because that's not fun for my daughter. She wants to be with the kids, but I am
Yeah,
so
but fun and
hyper
overwhelm is
focused, yes, on her not going upstairs, her breaking something, hypothetically speaking. I get so hyper focused on what could go wrong that I don't allow myself to just let her be, which
Yeah.
I can let her be. I don't let her be. I'm on top of her, hyper focused on what could happen.
And that's the thing, like, I think, like, when we venture out, if I know where the exits are and she's not bleeding, let's follow Celie's show. Like, she
Yeah.
changes her tune so often, like, to fight every boundary that's crossed. It's not worth, like, that's slapping a bull.
Basically, what we're saying is there's people out there for you. I mean, it's not as easy as it sounds. There's tons of people
But it
out
also
there.
is just one chance.
But it is
Yeah,
one chance. Yep.
Yeah.
Go to that
And-
meetup. Go to
Yeah.
that Zoom.
Yes.
Go to that.
Go to
whatever.
On We Go.
to
Go
me,
over to On We Go.
I
There
feel
we
like
go.
not only it is good for people to understand your hard times, but it's really the people really being able to celebrate the good times. Like
Yes.
talking to you guys, and you're like, "Well, we just saw her do. Oh my God, she just did that." Like even my own husband. Sometimes I have to be like, "Do you know how big a deal this is?" And I go through all the steps of like what it took for her to get to this place. I'm like, that means she did this, she understood this, she turned around, and I mean, obviously big things he understands. So sometimes it's like, I'm like, this is, if he doesn't get excited, like he's in trouble. You fake it then.
Yeah, but like that's the
He
thing.
doesn't get as
You
excited
can't
as
write
I
on
do.
your
Neil.
Facebook page, my daughter had 4 spontaneous words and have it mean anything to anyone. But we like
Mhm.
shrieked when Kaya said, "Have a good trip, Nana."
Yeah.
Oh,
Wild. It's wild. So that's our takeaway. Be
Yeah.
thankful for what you can. And yeah, this is pretty no reservations. But I can say that my daughter is 11 and it has drastically gotten better over the years. I know it's hard to put yourself out there. I know it's hard to keep trying when you are defeated and Christmas trees are tossed upside down. But I Temple Grandin, one of the profound things in one of the memoirs that she wrote was, if you don't keep trying, your children are not going to learn
Yes.
outside world, and the outside world will not learn them. And she was very pivotal, and her mother never kept her at home. And it's easier to stay home and it's easier not to do those things. And I get that, but I think that the more we do and the more we expose ourselves, it just helps our kids. So
Mhm.
get out there,
Absolutely.
mamas.
yeah, just
Get
it's
out
hard,
there.
but get out there.
Happy
setting.
holidays.
Happy
Yes.
holidays. Yes. Yes.
Happy holiday.
Thankful for you guys. Not a singer, just a lover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the countdown to Christmas is on.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us at the table for our 7th series, Our Holiday Table. Stay tuned for more, and while you wait, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Individually, you can find Tabitha Cabrera at pieceofautism.com, Piece of Autism on Facebook, and the same on Instagram. Jennifer Dunn is at keepingupwithkaya.com, Keeping Up with Kaya on Facebook, and the same on Instagram. For Rachel Flanagan, you can find her at flanaville.com, Flanaville on Facebook, and Flanaville3 on Instagram. Kimberly McIsaac is at autismadventureswithalyssa.com, Autism Adventures with Alyssa on Facebook, and the same on Instagram. Jamie Ramos is at jamieramoswrites.com, Jamie Ramos Writes on Facebook, and the same on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us at the table. We love having you, and we can't wait to sit with you again. See you soon.